Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lady Song Show. Tonight we have a special guest with us, C.L. Brown, the poet and author. Welcome, C.L.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Pleasure to be here.
How would you like to be known as?
C.L.
C.L.
is good.
Okay. I first saw C.L. At the People Profile reception earlier last month now,
Yes.
January. And, you know, when I see performers, whatever type of performer perform, I usually look at the audience to see how the audience is reacting. And I tell you, the audience, the ladies especially, were just going nuts, man. And when you read your poem, the ladies were going, ooh, and ah, and you know. So I said, you know what? He has such an effect on the ladies and on people in general. I would just love to have you on the show. So again, thank you for being here.
I'm honored to be here.
So you are the author of at least 3 books.
3 books,
as we
yes.
can see here. And why don't you first of all just give us a little bit of background about yourself and tell us how you got started in poetry.
So I'm originally from Jamaica, born and raised in Jamaica. From a pretty large family. I have 10 siblings, and moved to the United States when I was about 12 years old. And just over the years, I've always been into technologies, and I actually work in IT.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm a software engineer.
Software engineer?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
And so as far as the poetry, I think around the summer of 2007, and I started to write on MySpace. So
MySpace, that's going back a bit.
Yeah. I started writing on MySpace, and I remember I wrote this one, but at the time I didn't call it poetry. For me, it was just freestyle writing.
Okay.
And I wrote this one poem on there, and a young lady messaged me saying that her sister read it, and she was crying after she read it.
Oh, wow.
So sometime, maybe a year or so afterwards, my sister was on, my sister Pamela, she's watching today.
Hey, Pamela.
She was on Facebook.
Okay.
And she asked me to come to Facebook so she could communicate on Facebook. So after some time, I put it on Facebook, the same poem. And everyone started commenting and saying how good it was and asked me who wrote it.
Okay.
You know, because I never wrote poetry before. That was my first poem.
Really?
And it started from there. So I started writing on Facebook. And then people started recognizing and, you know, became consistent. And from there on, the journey started. Natural
talent.
Yeah.
And you said that was what? When was that again?
That was 2007.
Okay, so just over 10 years now.
Yeah.
So tell us about your journey. I mean, how in 10 years you've actually written 3 books, which is quite impressive. But what led you to publish your first book? I mean, if it's not obvious.
Yes. Well, really, it started with Facebook, and Facebook being that I was writing stuff on Facebook for a number of years, and a lot of people were telling me that I had talent, I had a gift, and that I should publish, but I didn't believe that I had the gift.
Okay.
And
you're just doing what comes natural.
I was just doing it. I was just writing stuff, and sometimes I get big-headed, you know. But so that was way back when, and around 2007, I was actually designing a social media type website.
Oh, okay.
And I ran into some issues with it, and sort of like a roadblock.
Yeah.
And one day I got it from the computer, and I was like, I'm sick of this programming. And I just said to myself, I said, they want a book, I'll give them a book. And I started composing the first book, Loud Whispers of Silent Souls.
Right. And
that was the summer of 2013, and I published it in 2015.
And this is no small book. This is no little pamphlet. This is this is meaty, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. So what is the essence of this first book?
The essence of that first book was just me going into myself and coming out of myself. In the process of writing that book, my mom passed away from breast cancer in 2014.
Oh dear.
And so within the book, there's a whole section of poems that's dedicated to her.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really personal collection.
I bet.
A lot of emotions in the entire book.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people, when they read it, they just cry.
Yes.
had people cry on my shoulder from the book. So it's a lot of deep emotions in the book. So essentially, it's just me, self-discovery, dealing with spirituality, dealing with love, dealing with heartbreak, trying to find love, you know.
Right.
And so it's a very personal collection.
Yeah. But you said you know, you dedicated some of this as a whole section to your mom.
Yes.
Do you want to talk on that a little bit? Because I know that your mom was very, very special to you. I mean, I know that from your bio you said you spent some time with your grandmother, but then also you had a very close relationship with your mother after that. Talk on that a little bit.
Yeah, so my mom and I, we became extremely close. She had an episode some years back, and after that episode, she had surgery, and we just became really, really close.
Oh, okay.
And just over the years, she's always been that strong foundation.
Right.
You know, and she was always like inputting stuff within that at the time I didn't understand.
Okay.
You know, so it's like as I got older, looking back and just reflecting on the things that she was speaking to me.
Yeah.
But she was just an incredible person.
Right.
You know, just very loving and supportive, and one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't tell her I was writing a book.
Oh.
So when she passed away, she didn't know I was writing.
Wow.
And I'm sure she knows now.
Yes.
But that whole relationship is just one of those things where when you lose someone so fundamental in your life, you know, and it was very hard. It was very hard. But of all the things that she's imparted in me over the years, you know, it keeps me going.
Okay, beautiful. Well, you know what? Would you like to read a poem, and one of the ones that you actually wrote that were dedicated to your mom?
To my mom. Okay.
That would be nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a competition a little bit later, so pay attention to what you're hearing today, and you may walk away with one of the new books, hot off the press. If you saw the Facebook page, you know that these arrived yesterday, just in time for this program. This is C.L. Brown, everybody, the author and poet of 3 beautiful books here. And again, these are not small books. These are not pamphlets.
I'll keep scrolling.
Right? You're going on forever here. Each one of these have a ton of books. My goodness, I can't wait to get into some of these, because when I heard you reading one of your poems last month, and I bet you it's from Bear. The one that you read last.
It was one from Bear and one from this book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those were very, very moving, and again, the ladies were just going a little bit crazy. But also your videos that you put up on YouTube, they're very artistic in the way how you have the imagery and beautiful. Do you have your?
I love art, so everything I do is sort of influenced by art.
Yeah.
All right, so I've actually never read or recited a poem from this section.
Oh,
ever.
This is the first.
So this is the first one I've done from this section.
Okay.
So if it gets heavy, forgive.
Okay.
This one is called Where Love Lies. A mound of dirt and cut flowers mark the place where love lies. Runaway tears leave tracks on broken faces, and children's hearts weep fearfully, accepting the tangibility of their reality. Unable to breathe, though the wind is so soft. Unable to hear, though the watchbirds sing so beautifully. Mama sleeps with the angels now, and I envy the heavens' gift of the best love. Quietly I knelt, pouring my heart's secrets into the hot earth, like water invading porous soil. Mama, can you hear me? A still silence penetrates my hope, reminding me that death consumes voices too. Still I wait, hoping time will change its mind and undo what has been done. But the days carry on, and the nights tease with glimpses of her in lucid dreams. Twice she was dying. Once I saved her. Then I rose from my sleep, but she did not. Mama, do you see me? Her picture stares back with piercing eyes, conveying the last words reminding me of better times. When she spoke, "I love you, baby." And I replied, "I love you too." You poured from your beautiful soul until you had nothing left. Then God showed mercy, and I cried bitterly. You're gone, but still I go on hoping against hope answers I'll find. Conversing with Mama, seeking some peace of mind. Kneeling on the flattened mound, replenishing dead lilies but with dying roses. Pouring words through the hardened dirt, while the uncut grass dances slowly beneath me. Mama, do you still love me? That's heavy.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So you said you spent some of your early years in Jamaica.
Yes.
Is your Jamaican heritage conveyed in any of your poetry?
That's a good question. I think so. I think because I grew up in Mandeville, on the countryside. And my grandfather was a farmer, so I spent a lot of time on the farm, and so you get a lot of that in my writing. I'm always talking about things in nature, just being in the outdoors, and just kind of embracing that. And so I think that's where it came from.
Okay.
So definitely you'll find the Jamaican in there.
What about any poems specifically about Jamaica? Any?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
You're Americanized now.
It's been a while.
So talk about your process for writing. I mean, do you get inspired? Do you talk about how you come about writing a poem?
My entire writing process is all inspiration.
Okay.
I never sit and attempt to write anything. I feel it. I hear it. Sometimes I hear a word. Sometimes I'm listening to a song. Sometimes I'm having a conversation with someone. I may see a picture, and it just sort of triggers something on the inside.
Yeah, yeah.
And then sometimes the word is coming. I'm actually on the road, sometimes driving, and I have to like pull over or type on the phone. But it's a process where everything is truly inspired.
Okay.
And that's why it comes so easy and it flows so easily, because I feel like a poem is something that's trying to be heard. And
it's trying to get out there.
Trying to get out.
Wow.
I'm just blessed to be that vessel that it chose. To bring it out. So I don't try to force it. I just let it be, and it comes and I write it.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this the second book a little bit, Bear. And what is the essence behind that one?
Bear is a period I went through of a lot of heartbreak. Bear is. It has some stuff on romance as well, but it's a heavy heartbreak collection.
Okay.
To the point where when I was getting ready to publish it, and I was going back and reading the pieces, and I almost didn't, because I was like, this is too vulnerable.
Oh, too deep.
It was too deep.
Too personal.
And then I thought about Adele when she had her first album, and it was nothing but heartbreak. And I was like, well, it was a successful album, so I was like, maybe this will.
A lot of people get success because of their heartache. Like, was it Sam Smith as well?
Sam Smith.
All right. So this book, I know that there's probably some very deep emotional poems in there. Looks like you've said it's. Is it the most personal of the three?
They're all personal.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they're all very personal.
Would you go ahead and read the poem, the one that you read that night? And I believe is it the same one that was at the video that you have?
Oh, Endless.
Endless. Yes.
Yes.
Could we hear that one? Endless. That one is beautiful.
Endless is actually not a heartbreak. It's a celebration of love.
That's beautiful.
So, endless. I am the endless love you were conceived of, eternal and beautiful, the kind like water cradled in the sands of the Sahara, inimitable and precious, loving you with a passion that burns like wildfire consuming domestic possessions, passing through and around you, finding my being in the care of hands fashioned with purpose. And sweetheart, the things I see making passes below your surface, my God, I am too selfish to speak of them. But somehow I manage to give away bits when I am the recipient of my heart's whispered secrets. Darling, of all the sweet things acquainted with my lips, you are unparalleled. So like the honeybee patiently searching for that perfectly saccharine sunflower, I'll impart unrushed kisses inch by inch until every mystery hidden in your skin tastes familiar. With those gorgeous freckles accentuating your flawless, you are the reflection of stars God stitched into the very soul of the heavens. And you are perfect. Something like cloudless fall skies when shades of blues and light grays meet in one place, cradling the partially woken moon, when east suns fall short of mist skies, only infinitely more wonderful. So in awe of our perpetual unfolding, I anxiously linger in the expanse of your eyes, because that is where I feel most free. And when I'm there, I slow my breathing, cheating time, or at least I try. Darling, I am incessantly in love with the muted conversations of your fingers, familiarizing themselves with my excited skin, because you reveal emotions buried within each time they pass against me. And I am in love with the totality of your being, because when fear found a place inside the inner self, and my lips fixed themselves to speak into existence our non-existence, you knew just how to speak life into my spirit, and as the redeemed, we were born again. Darling, beyond a lover, you are my friend. And if in death God should ask me to live again, I would sin again, with you again, making love a lifetime, just to die again, then repeat you, then repeat you, and then repeat you all over again.
I love that one. That one's good. That was hot.
That's one of my favorite pieces in that book.
Yeah. I mean, I think, did you read that one that night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I read the first one, in this one called Why.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll hear that as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, each one is just so expressive. Now I know that you don't use any type of bad language or too erotic language in your books.
No.
Just talk to that a little bit. What is your thought behind that?
Well, it started initially with the first book, and I thought that I had nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And I thought if they wanted to read my books, what would I say about that?
Uh-huh.
And then it just kind of evolved into realizing and accepting that I can be expressive and I can be creative without using profanity or anything vulgar.
Okay.
And so I've just kind of stuck with that throughout all three books.
That's good. That's good. Clean, wholesome stuff.
Yeah. I imagine these books, that is something that a mother can purchase and give to their daughter.
Yeah.
And just pass it on, because I think these books will last generations. These are like
taste of time.
Really classic.
I mean, I think they're actually really good for young men as well, because now, have you ever, used your poems or used this type of language to woo a lady, and why not if you haven't?
I would say this, I use it to woo but not to use.
Okay.
So if it's someone that I'm serious about, then I express that to them.
Yeah.
But never the situation or the case where I try to use it to manipulate and to use and to,
Okay.
Never done that, no.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, it's a talent, and I don't see why you wouldn't, somebody special, of course, you share your poetry, you express yourself through the poetry like that. Mm-hmm. So, great. All right, now, the big new book. You guys, are you still out there? Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments for our special guest here? Put them in the chat room and Steve will field them for us. Talk about this latest book now, Awakening the Trinity. And what is the Trinity?
The Trinity, I think I sort of never try to explain because when I talk to people, they get different interpretations.
Oh.
So the Trinity is the Trinity for you. What it's going to be? I think once you get into the book, you'll get what the Trinity is for you.
For you, okay, okay.
And so I never try to really put my perspective on it to sort of like sway people from getting what they're supposed to be getting. But the Trinity, this book is broken into 3 chapters.
Oh, okay.
The first chapter is called His God. The second chapter is called Himself. And the third chapter is His Beloved. And so these are all poems along those lines. And so on the back of it, it says, when he met his God, when he met himself, when he met his beloved, these sacred mornings, man rose in the dream of the awakened. So I think that kind of gives you
a little hint,
some insight into what's in the book. But I can get into it and read some stuff.
Yeah, let's hear something from this one now. I mean, again, each of these books are hefty. I mean, I can see these books being in the libraries, in the schools,
yes,
in the future.
They can actually get them because they're registered with the Library of Congress.
Okay, beautiful.
So they can get them in schools and libraries all over.
Okay, good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have a chance to win one of these books. We have 3 to give away, right?
Yes.
We have 3 to give away. So stay tuned, you guys. Anybody got any comments there, Steve?
Fantasy Folly. She says it's hot.
Yeah, she was there that night. That's
She wants a book.
She wants a book.
Or books.
Do you have one ready?
I have one ready.
Okay, let's hear from Awakening the Trinity.
This piece is from the chapter His Beloved.
Okay.
And this one is called Holy Ground. My most beloved, I marvel at the construction of your temple. Finely architected and layered in unearthly colors, you reveal the most exquisite details of heavenly places my sublunary eyes have ever witnessed. You are my place of worship. And so as I submit supplications between your inward and your outward selves, perusing the perfect symmetry between your soul and your unclothed body, it is quite evident your Creator was well versed in the understandings of sacred geometry. Beloved, you are fine art in all the intricacies of all your dimensions. So I surrender my sinful nature at the center of your most holy, repeating like a mantra the sacred sounds rising from your crested soul as I gracefully make divine love to it. And like the chakra, I rose from your lowest self to your highest self. And when the singular point of enlightenment had fully come, we ascended, when with understanding I placed my lips between your eyes, witnessing the passing of the man I knew before the day the universe conspired for me to find you. My darling, the birthing of the lightning was our souls forsaking the orbit of God as we descended into the realm of flesh beneath the watchful eyes of darkness. My love, you are the embodiment of love. And thus I prostrate myself before you, giving devotion as both my lips and my tongue rehearsed the notes that gave cadence to the sweet song I composed from the muffled sounds rising from your satisfaction. And at night, as you make sweet love to me, I adorn your nakedness with poetry far exceeding the mastery of Michelangelo's artistry. And so, my ear, I lie often in the silence of you, lips immersed in the gentle flow of you, ingesting life, dining on the fruit of you, learning the secrets of your garden that compelled me to fall for you.
it again. Wow. Wow.
Althea Brown says she loves it.
Yeah. You probably have
Thank you.
women falling all over themselves to get to hear you, just to, you know. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean,
Thank you.
I was touched when I heard them, because I was just really watching everybody else, because everybody was like, and the sounds coming out of the, you know, the mouth of the ladies, and the guys were just like, I wish I could talk like that. You know. Have you had any formal training with poetry, or is it all natural?
It's all completely natural.
You've never actually studied, or wow,
In fact,
God given.
when I started to write, when I started getting into it, I was watching. I told myself, you know what? Well, initially I told myself that I didn't want to read anyone's poetry, because I felt like if I had a voice, I felt like my voice was strong enough to stand on its own.
Oh, for real?
And without being influenced too much.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And later on, I was watching YouTube, and this guy was saying that if you're going to write poetry, you have to read other people's poetry.
Oh.
And so I started to read, and then after a while, I was like, no, I don't think I need to.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I do, but
Okay.
just initially, I just wanted to just
Be authentically you.
Authentically me. So there's no formal training.
Okay.
Everything that you see just comes straight out.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, we're gonna give a couple of books away. Think of a couple of questions we can ask them. I'm gonna ask the first one. You could think of something that we can ask. All right, guys. I know that you're listening. For those who are listening, we have a small number on YouTube today, but the first question I think we'll ask is, if you've been listening to the whole of this interview, you will have heard C.L. Brown tell you where he was born in Jamaica. So, where was C.L. Brown born in Jamaica? So, as we're waiting for the answer to that, tell people how they can get hold of your books.
All three books are available internationally on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, IndieBound, you name it, you can find it.
Okay.
I've seen them on Walmart's website.
Oh.
And all three come in paperback, hardcover, and ebooks.
Oh,
So
hardcover
to
too.
Kindle your nook.
Yeah.
This one here, it's on Amazon. It's supposed to be in pre-order status.
Yes.
Amazon shows it as out of stock, which is incorrect. But you can pre-order it on Amazon. You can pre-order it on Barnes & Noble, and internationally. Like, I've sold these books here in Trinidad, Africa,
Yeah.
in the UK, so they're international.
Great. All right. Can you think of another question for the folks?
Althea answered the first question.
Okay, Althea. Congratulations, Althea.
Mandeville?
Yes, Mandeville. Well done, Althea. We're gonna let you get hold of this book, and then we'll also play your song a little bit later. Okay.
So I guess another question. What year did I say I started writing?
That's a good one. What year did C.L. Brown say he started writing? And I'm going to think of another question as well.
Mr. Land said she haven't been able to put down Awakening. Since she got it, because it's a must read.
Right. Yes, that's great. That's great.
Thank you, Mr. Land.
Before we ask our last question, do you have any appearances coming up to, where you're going to be doing, you're speaking?
Yes, I have an appearance on the 15th. It's an event called Date Night. It's on my social media. It's at Crave Restaurant.
Oh, Crave Lounge, just up the road from here.
Yeah, so
cool.
that's on the 15th. And on the, I believe the 23rd, the last Friday of the month, I'll be at Speak Fridays in Wynwood.
Okay.
And you can find our show on social media at Speak Fridays.
Okay. Are you familiar with T.J. Hope? Tanisha?
Yes, I've done something.
You've done something there
Yes.
with her? I guess it's probably, you might have done something at her erotic night, or no?
I did one at, she had a previous event.
Okay.
And the erotic one, I haven't been there yet.
Okay,
But
okay.
yes, I did her.
Yeah, right.
Great shows.
Okay, good.
All right, a couple of comments. Julie Tracy actually was asking do you have a book tour scheduled? But you just answered that question.
Right.
Julie Tracy, go ahead and answer that question.
So I actually need to formalize a tour, and for this book, because I had a formal release event for this book. For this one, I haven't planned it out yet. Shame on me, but I've been terribly busy.
Sure.
But I do plan to do a number of events and do signings. So I will keep you guys posted on my social media
Good,
with
good.
that information.
All right. Do we have the answer to the second question yet?
Well, Althea answered the second question as well. She said he started in 2007.
She's paying attention.
She's paying attention. Althea, you really paid attention, girl. Melody, you don't want to claim your book, girl? Come on, Melody. I'm gonna ask a question that I'm hoping that Melody can answer because I really want her to get the book. But you got to do your work, girl. Okay. You have a question, or shall I ask one?
You can ask one.
Okay. So the final question is, CL mentioned that he started putting his poems on social media.
Mm-hmm.
What social media platform did he start on?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And Althea can't answer. No.
Althea can't answer. We can't give 3 books away to Althea. Come on. What about someone in the room? Can we give it to somebody in the room?
Of course.
Okay. What was the answer? MySpace.
Oh, there you go.
We have a winner in the room here, and you'll actually get it signed too. From our little studio audience here. Awesome. So we've given 3 books away.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Fantasy Folly answered MySpace as well.
Okay. Sorry, Fantasy. Sorry, Mel. You missed out on that one. And we gave you a couple of minutes too. But any final thoughts before we talk about we just wrap it up?
I think I would probably sort of segue into just what I've learned, some of the things I've learned in this process of writing. And one of the first things I learned was how to listen to when people are calling greatness out of you.
Yes.
Because sometimes we can't see it. But if it's there, there's always going to be someone calling it. And if you learn to discern that voice and to answer to it, and you might be afraid, but that's all right. But you just have to be. I say if you don't believe in yourself, believe in the people that believe in you until you learn to believe in yourself.
Right,
because eventually you will.
Yeah, because that's saying when they say if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. That's actually not true, because people were believing in you before you started believing in yourself, right?
This is the evidence, right?
This is the evidence. So they kept on pressuring you to say, come on, you guys, come write something or publish.
Yes.
And eventually you did, and this is absolutely beautiful. It's marvelous. Okay, great. Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Okay. As far as other people wanting to hear you and have them on your shows, do you have things lined up as far as that? Because I know that one of my sort of colleagues in the radio world is interested in getting you.
Yes. I'll be on Hot 105.
Okay.
On the 11th, February 11th.
All right.
I'll be on Hot Talk with Jill Tracy.
Okay, good.
So that's my next radio interview.
Okay.
Coming up.
DJ Kevin Stew, once I was talking to him on his channel, also online radio, and he is eager to have you on his show, and I'm sure it's going to start trickling down.
I would love to be there, so just get in contact with my social media.
Beautiful.
We'll make it happen.
Okay, well, C.L. Brown, I want to thank you for my copy,
Absolutely.
my signed copy. I'm happy for that, and I just wish you all the best with your writing and continued growth. It's something that we need in society, to have good literature, good poems, and I think it will definitely help men. It's going to help anybody, because it's just touching.
I've had actually a lot of guys purchase these books.
Yeah.
And some of them tell me straight up they want to learn how to speak to women. So So I always tell them, get one for your girl.
Yes.
If you're in the doghouse, get one for your girl.
True.
You'll be out of the doghouse, I promise you.
Excellent. Okay, C.L. Brown, I want to thank you again for being on the Lady Song Show tonight.
Thank you so very much.
All the
It's an honor
best.
to be here.
All right.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Good night, you guys. Tune in to the Lady Song Show every Thursday, 8 till 10 p.m. Eastern at ladysongshow.com for interviews, events, special features, and the very best in feel-good music. The Lady Song Show. Start your weekend early.